it's the rotted Greatwood. I've done these bosses a little bit out of order from what I usually do, mainly because I've been speed running through the levels just to try and get cool drops without much attention being paid to passing enemies, etc. Which has had varying levels of success depending on how much I'm really concentrating. So hopefully this guy's fairly academic as well. I've not misuse of the word academic there. I apologise for any grammar and diction focused individuals watching. But anyway, this boss is pretty straightforward. He's got some very specific areas that you can hit, some quite easily dodged attacks. Maybe for this level 1 character, the hardest bit is this first bit where I've got enemies to ignore, as I seem to have been doing here. But there we go, I've busted his gentleman's area, assuming this tree is a gentleman. And down we go to the lower depths, where the real fight begins. So these strange eggs respawn here, but I've dealt with them fairly promptly. I get his weird inner thigh growth, which I usually ignore. But it seems to be going pretty well so far. Like I say, his attacks are pretty well telegraphed, so it's relatively easy to see. Oh, there we go, his hands. Oh, missed. I think I've got one hit in. So that big white hand thing is another area you can hit him. I usually reserve that to the end of the fight when I'm sort of desperate for just one or two last hits. But yeah, there we go. Quite easily avoiding his attacks. There we go. Primed that one up. Now just one or two hits more. He hasn't hit me yet, although I do think if he does get me, if he grabs me or swipes me, it'll be a one-hit kill. So it's not anything to take for granted. Although there we go. Oh, he's got me. Oh, phew. Thought that was me dead. Right, come on. One more hit. I thought I killed him. There we go. Bit of R1 spam. So that's it. Curse rotted Greatwood down. Onwards and upwards. Can you guess who it is? Who's my buddy come to fight? It's Sigurd! Alright mate! How's it going? So I think really for solo level 1 fights the real spirit is to do bosses and the levels etc. on your own. And generally I've kept to that rule. Except for this fight because I dig Sigurd, I dig him as a guy. I dig that he's got a mission, and I just felt like it. I don't think Yhorm's going to be a massive challenge either way, so I just summoned him in just because I wanted to see the cutscene one more time. I suppose it does make it easier having him here because his attention's split. I don't have to dodge him as much. So sue me. My SL1 run is slightly tainted, but it's been tainted by Sigurd, so I can live with that. So I've been trying to read up a bit more about the lore and stuff like that. There's some great videos around that explain like who Yhorm is, probably who Sigurd is. I would like to. Looks like I've neglected to take into account the additional weight from the Storm Ruler, so I have to be careful here because my character's fat rolling. And one hit from Yhorm is probably enough to utterly wipe out this SL1 character. So anyway. I might try and add a bit of lore to future videos, but I guess I kind of avoided it because a lot of the stuff I would be talking about is stuff I've read somewhere else that someone else has kind of hypothesised and researched. It feels a little bit disingenuous to present those ideas as my own. But anyway, Yhorm's dead. Let's have a chat with Sigurd. See what you're thinking. This is the end of your mission, Sigurd. What will happen to you? This may be the last time we ever speak.
It seems I am in your debt.
So you're going to give me something for it?
My thanks. I could have not kept my promise without you.
No, I don't think I'm going to get anything else.
For a final toast.
Oh, another Sigurd. Excellent. That'll do. Alright, old buddy. Take it easy. Have a little sleep. On to the Abyss Watchers. So, lucky for you, I've edited out God knows how many hours of failed attempts at these guys. Yeah, this is the real beginning of the challenge of the Soul Level 1 boss run. So I did Yhorm and Co way before this, just because I wanted to put it off for as long as possible. But suffice it to say, I died many times to the Abyss Watchers, and came so close. Yeah, a few times where I was like one hit left, and I just get one shot in this sort of second phase. I found this bit like challenging when they start summoning in, well, more Abyss Watchers spawn. Sometimes I'd handle it really easily, sometimes I would die to this guy, sometimes it would just sort of set me back so the rest of the fight was more challenging. Generally what I try and do is take out the non-red-eyed Abyss Watcher first, so these two can have a bit of a ruck and I can try and get a sneaky hit in first, although typically what happens is I get hit in the crossfire, so I've taken out that guy by accident, in all honesty. Magic and chance now on swords, they certainly help for damage output. Oh, blocked me there. But yeah, just trying to be a bit more cautious. So very close. I've got, is it Lloyd's or Flynn's Shield Ring? I can't remember which one. I think it's Lloyd's Shield Ring, which if I'm at full health, which is easy to achieve an SL1, I think I get something like a 25% damage reduction, which certainly helps you from getting one shot. There we go, he's down. I'll skip the cutscene. And on to this bit, which is easier in some ways because there's only one character to contend with. But in other ways, you know, he's far more aggressive now. And there's a lot of like AoE effects to his attacks now, so it's quite hard to keep dodging. I think what I'm going to try and do is back off and like try and taunt him into doing his sort of long streaking attack, which is kind of easy to dodge and okay to get a hit in, unless he does that kind of swirly attack afterwards. I'm really not doing a good job here of getting any hits in, but I've got 4 Estus left, so hopefully it'll be okay. Here we go. Right, come on, time for some attacks. No, God, still nothing at all. Try and get some distance here. Here we go again. So that's the better version of that one for me. I've got him up against the wall for a bit, so that will help me get some hits in. I'm probably being a bit too greedy in terms of the number of hits landed, but I'm just so desperate to take this guy down. Doing a good job of blocking though, at least, so not all his attacks are truly devastating. Right, come on, give me a good opener. I mean, I found these guys so straightforward and easy when doing it with with a regular character. So to sort of come up against them being such a challenge to an SL1, it's kind of cool in a way because it gives you a lot more insight into their moves. Like you kind of have to pay attention and care what they do, watching for the cues, etc. That you might not need to do if you just sort of tank through it with a regular character. So there is that, but dying goodness knows how many times isn't the most enthusing experience. I'm sure I'll have far more experiences like this. Dancer probably will be quite tough. Dragon Armour I don't even want to think about. Gundyr, I mean, to be honest, I struggled with Lord of Cinder and Nameless King with someone with full health and damage, etc. So the idea of taking on those people fills me with some kind of dread. But there we go, I've done it. Yes, finally down. It almost makes it all worth it when you finally get that kill. So that's good stuff. So that's the last of the bosses I'm going to showcase today. Hope you enjoyed the journey of Little Yolandi so far. There'll be certainly more coming up in future episodes, I hope, if I don't get too frustrated with trying to take down all these far more challenging bosses. But leave a comment, like, subscribe if you like this video, and hopefully you'll see some more. Cheers, bye!